I've been joined by Mark Purvis, the Associate Brand Manager for Wizards of the Coast in Seattle. Mark, thanks for joining us here on the live Worlds webcast. Tell us all about the idea of this Conflux Reveal then.
Well, we wanted to give players a first look at the world of Conflux. It's actually Shards of Alara with the shards converging. In Shards of Alara, the set itself, the shards were distinct and they never overlapped, but something or someone is pushing those shards together. And as that happens, some things are popping in and out of different shards that they don't necessarily belong in.
All right, so we've got 10 fantastic pieces of artwork that we're going to see on the cards when the set comes out in February. Take us through them, because we've got a little guessing game as well with the names, right?
Yes, we gave players an opportunity to come by here in their downtime and look at 4 different names of cards that are in the set and try and guess which ones go with the art that we're showing.
All right, take us through them then. Let's have a look. What do we got?
Well, the first one is an awesome piece by Jason Chan that people may have already seen in the Shards of Alara ad card for Conflux. And you see a giant Naya Hydra fighting with some Bant Knights, and those Knights are having a really bad day. Progenitus is a Hydra. If players have been reading the Planeswalker's Guide to Alara, they'll know that. But this art is actually for Apocalypse Hydra.
Okay, so then we move on from Apocalypse Hydra to number 2, which I guess I might go for Kederet Parasite. How am I doing?
You would be correct. The Kederet Parasite is a Grixis creature, but as you can see in the background, it's in Bant. I'm sorry, Esper. It's an Esper.
All right, yep. And so that's going to be a theme throughout Conflux then, the idea of Grixis arrives in Esper, Bant arrives in Naya, and so on.
Yes, when these overlaps happen, it's often very violent and very bad for one or the other shard.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look very good. That Parasite doesn't look healthy at all. Let's move on to number 3 then, and this is a fantastic piece of artwork, especially the shield. I don't know if we can get some of the detail on that. Just magnificent.
This is one of my favorite new artists for Magic. This is Chris Ron. And some of the players picked up on the fact that he does have an angel on his shield, and angels are, actually Amishas are one of the classes of angel on Bant. So this is Paragon of the Amisha.
Fantastic, and Kiss of the Amisha we've had already, now here's the Paragon. Number 4, this doesn't look like a healthy place to be either.
No, this is actually a vampire flying through Jund. Okay. You would think that a world filled with lava would be a horrible place to live, but for something coming from Grixis, there's actually way more life than there was on Grixis. So this is a vampire, and this is actually Blood Tyrant.
Wow, so this is no place like home, good grief. On we go to the top right, and this is a very bleak picture here. So Aethersworn Adjudicator, Outlander, oh, I think I'd go for Salvage Slasher with this one.
This is actually Vectis Agents. This is a Chippy Dugan piece, and it is a couple of agents from Esper plundering the ruins on Grixis.
All right, so we're halfway, and I'm not doing very well here, but let's see if we can do a bit better on the bottom row. Now, this looks absolutely magnificent, a real kind of dragon feel to this. Is this something like Banefire?
This is, in fact, Banefire, and this is Raymond Swanland painting many players' favorite planeswalker, Sarkhan Vol. He does worship dragons, and so he's casting this fire spell and turning his hands into dragons.
Well, next along the line, we've got what is very clearly a Rox person, if you can call him a person, but whether this turns into a Rox card name, we'll find out.
This is actually one of the trickier ones, because this is Mirror Sigil Sergeant.
Ah, and is this because we're getting the feel on both sides? Are those essentially him again?
Well, I'll just say that it's very closely tied to the mechanic of the card and leave it at that.
Ah, okay. You are a tease. That's very naughty of you. Okay, so Mirror Sigil Sergeant there. We're on to the middle. Well, the obvious one to go for is Voracious Dragon, but we don't always have the obvious one, do we?
That's true, and this is another tricky one because this is Suicidal Charge. Now, that's not to say that there aren't dragons in Conflux. Many of the big creatures that are on each shard still appear in this set, and there are several dragons in Conflux.
So on to number 9. Well, it's airborne. That would be view from above, I guess, but I'm pretty certain you're going to come up with one of the other 3.
Yes, it is Magister Sphinx. And this Sphinx is flying over the decay of Grixis, so he is also out of place.
And then our final one of the 10, surely that's a Thrinax.
It's actually Beacon Behemoth.
Okay.
And that actually wraps up our little art reveal.
Okay, so that's how I did on the shards. How well do you know shards? Conflux coming out February the 6th to a store near you. Mark Purvis, Associate Brand Manager at Wizards of the Coast. Many, many thanks.
Thank you.